Hey guys, what's going on? It's the LA Fakers, James your Jam here, joined by,
Jacobin 9.
and today we'll be giving our NBA playoff predictions. You know, the playoffs are just about to begin tomorrow for us. This video is probably coming out a few days after, but I'm very excited to see, this is the best my team's ever looked for sure, the Cavaliers. I'm not sure about your team, but
Hey, it is what it is.
let's get into this. Yeah, you look cooked. The first game is the first series, sorry, we're starting out east, is the number 1 seeded Cleveland Cavaliers, my team, playing the number 8 seeded Miami Heat. Now, I know Miami used to be a scary team. They're exposed, but I have the Cavs in 5. I honestly just don't think that the Heat have what it takes to be able to compete with us. We've looked so dominant this season. I don't think it's going to be a close series at all. Oh yeah, I keep going.
Yeah, you're doing the whole East game. Let's go.
The second series is the Indiana Pacers 4 seeded playing the 5 seeded Bucks. This is a really interesting one. Giannis has been playing amazingly, and Dame is he's looking like he's going to be back soon, which is great news. One of my favorite players. But I have the Pacers in 6. The Bucks may have the best 2 players even, but the Pacers are just so deep, and I have a lot of questions about that Bucks team outside of their top 2 and what they're capable of doing. It was not a great season for them, and the Pacers have been really good since the start of the year. So I have the Pacers in 6. The next series is the New York Knicks playing the Detroit Pistons, 3 versus 6 seed. I have the Knicks in 5. I don't think this is going to be that close of a series. I know it's exciting for the Pistons and all, but I think people are overhyping them, and I don't think that they actually have a real chance in this one. I think people are discrediting the Knicks a little bit, but yeah, I have the Knicks in 5. And then final series out east is the Boston Celtics, reigning champs, playing against the Orlando Magic, 2 seed versus 7 seed. I have the Celtics in 4. They're just a way better team at this stage. Unfortunately, I thought the Magic were going to be a much better team this year, but it hasn't panned out. All these injuries, and the Celtics just are really good still. So give me the Celtics in 4.
I guess it's time for my one. I was quite surprised actually that you gave the Heat a game. Personally, I have your Cleveland Cavaliers sweeping the Miami Heat. I just don't think. Well, Jimmy Butler was their glue. He was their guy, and now that he's gone, they've got some nice players like Tyler Hero and Davion Mitchell, I think.
He named Davion over. Yeah, he cooked today.
No, he cooked. Mitchell. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying he's elite, but hey, he cooked. Maybe he's a bit of a playoff riser.
I do like him as a player.
He's a play-in
defender.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's not enough for the Cavs. The Cavs have been elite this whole season, and it's time for them to show it. To show out. But the next game is actually gonna be different. I think that the Bucks beat the Pacers. I mean, the Pacers have ended the season really well. They've been in like a 8 or so game win streak. I'm not completely sure, but and yeah, they do have a deeper roster for sure. I do understand the concerns about the Bucks. They basically only have 2 players, but I feel like you can never doubt Giannis. He's just one of those players you can't doubt, and he's him in the playoffs. I think him and Dame, if Dame's back to his healthy ways, which is the big question, but I think if he is healthy, I reckon that they can take down the Pacers. Moving on from that, the next series is the Knicks versus the Pistons. I personally have the Knicks winning it. I mean the Pistons. I have them winning. The Knicks winning in 6, I should say. Also forgot to mention I have the Bucks winning in 6. I love the Detroit Pistons. They're the team that I'm going from the East. But I think that they match up well with the Knicks, but I ultimately don't think that they're gonna win the Knicks just have too much strike and too much superstardom. And then that leaves us to finally the last series, which I have the Celtics winning in 5. I really like Orlando, but they're no match for the Celtics. Celtics are kind of peak, and I mean, yeah, they just want a chip. So, yeah, give me Celtics. But moving on, it is the Thunder. Well, moving on to the West, I should say, it is the Thunder versus the Grizzlies, and I have no one's shock. Oh my goodness, I have the Thunder winning in 4, a sweep, if you will. I mean, the Thunder, they're probably the best team in the league at the moment. They have an MVP frontrunner. He ain't my MVP, but I understand why a lot of people think Shea's the MVP. And yeah, I mean, Ja Morant's cool, but he ain't Thunder.
Yeah.
But the next game is my Denver Nuggets taking on the LA Clippers, and you know, I know already, Jam's gonna go a completely different way, and that I'm biased. But you know, you can't doubt Jokic. He's the best player in the league. The Nuggets have the greatest playoff riser of all time in Jamal Murray. Whether he's gonna play like it, I don't know, to be honest. He's probably not. The team overall is not great. They just fired their coach. But they've been performing well enough. They've, I think, got 3 wins in a row now, and secured the 4 seed. And I think that the Nuggets can beat the Clippers. I mean, the Clippers have started out hot, or ended hot. But you know, I'm biased. Give me the Nuggets. The next series for me is the LA Lakers taking on the Timberwolves, and I have the Lakers winning in 6. I mean, the Timberwolves, you know, they're still going to be an elite team. They have Rudy Gobert, they have Ant. They have overall a really solid team, but I just think that the superstars of LA can get the job done. I mean, Luka and LeBron, plus A. Reeves, you know, they can get the job done, and I think that they can get the series win over the Timberwolves personally. And then the next series is the Young Rockets taking on the Unk Warriors. And, you know, it's going to be a very fiery series, I think. Dylan Brooks versus Draymond Green's about to be a UFC fight. And ultimately, I don't think that the Warriors can hang. I'm not buying into the hype. I think that the Rockets also win in 6. Oh my goodness, I'm in there. And that rounds out my first round of the playoffs. Well, yeah. It's down to you again.
My turn to move out west. The first series being the Oklahoma City Thunder against the Memphis Grizzlies. I have Oklahoma City winning in a landslide in 4. I think it's going to be a sweep. I don't think it's going to be a great series. Memphis just fired their coach not long ago, and it's not looking good. I'm honestly surprised that they were able to make it out of the play-in, but they do have, you know, Ja Morant's been playing better, to be fair, and Desmond Bain is a great shooter, great player. They have talent, but the Thunder have way more talent, and arguably the deepest team in the league, I'd probably say. So I don't think it's going to be close. The next series is the Los Angeles Clippers against the Denver Nuggets. Now, this is where I see a bit of an upset. I mean, it probably isn't an upset for most people. It should be a very good series, but I have the Clippers winning this in 6.
Hang on, still not an upset.
Well, by seeding it is.
By seeding with the same record.
Yeah, that's
good.
Look, I'm just
don't try and spit narratives. Don't make this a narrative that this is
well,
a great upset. It wouldn't be.
Well, it is pretty cool though that the Clippers, after losing Paul George, are able to rebound like this. I think they've just got so many, you know, shot makers. I don't know what the Nuggets are going to be able to do defensively. I think it's going to be a tough series for them. Jokic is, you know, amazing. I'm not going to doubt him too much, obviously, but the question becomes, can the rest of the Nuggets, you know, give him some support and help him bring it down? Based on what I've seen this season, I don't think so. and taking Los Angeles in this one. I trust them all. But the next series is another LA team, the LA Lakers, against the Minnesota Timberwolves in the 3-6 matchup. This is probably one of my favorite series. I really like both teams, honestly. Those are like my two favorite teams out west. But I have Los Angeles winning it in 7. I think it's going to be a really good series. I still like the Timberwolves, even though, you know, they made that crazy move in the offseason, getting rid of Cat. We'll have to see how Julius Randle plays, but in the end, I don't think they have enough to keep up with Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reeves. That's just a crazy trio. I just think there's not much they're going to really be able to do. They have good defenders, good depth, Minnesota, but when you're playing two, you know, top 10 players in the world, it's tough. So give me LA. And then the final series is another one I am different than you. It is the Golden State Warriors against the Houston Rockets. I have the Warriors in 6. You got Steph Curry. The Rockets are a really young team. I will say I think the Rockets have a real chance. There's been a lot of hype around the Warriors because they've been playing really well with Jimmy Butler, but don't sleep on the Rockets, is all I'm saying. They're the 2 seed for a reason, even though they're young. But yeah, I do have the Warriors just with a more experience pulling it out. Jimmy Butler's a playoff riser. Steph Curry is him. I think it could be a good series, though, honestly. Yeah, Warriors in 6. And then that is the first round.
Well, after technical difficulties, it's my turn. And the first game, the first series, is going to unfortunately be my Denver Nuggets falling to the Thunder. Call me biased, but I think we lose in 5. You know, I think they're the deepest roster. Simply, we don't have the players to beat them, is what it kind of comes down to. And obviously Shai's going to get every call, as we know. But yeah, give me the Thunder. The next series, I have the Rockets versus the Lakers, and the Rockets, I believe, will win in 7. In a clutch game 7. You know, they are young, and maybe it is a bit of a insanity run, but we've seen them before. We've seen, you know, Miami do it when they went to the playoffs, went to the finals against Denver. I mean, it's definitely not unheard of, especially since they are the 2nd seed. I mean, the Lakers, you know, they are very top heavy. Obviously their superstars are like the best players, but after that it's kind of just they're definitely not the deepest roster ever, for sure, and I think that could play a massive part. And also JJ Redick, there, I think that's their coach. This is his first, you know, playoff run, so as the coach, so.
Alright, out west, for my playoff bracket, we have the Oklahoma City Thunder matching up with the Los Angeles Clippers. And I have the Thunder winning in 6. I don't think it's going to be a great series either. The Thunder are just, they might win it in 5, honestly. But they're just such a dominant team. I feel like they're the clear front runner out west. You know, there's the 3 real contenders, and they're the only one out west. So I think they're just way too deep, way too much talent, and you know, I don't think that the Clippers are going to be able to slow down everyone. The next series is a series we seem to get every playoffs, and it is the Los Angeles Lakers playing the Golden State Warriors. And I think this will be a great series, as it seems to always be, you know, when these two teams play. I think it's going to be a 7-game series, and I am going to give it to the Los Angeles Lakers. I think there's great playoff performance on both teams. I think I trust the Lakers more. I trust LeBron and Luka versus Steph and Butler. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think it's going to be a great series though. but I think that the star power and Luka Doncic is just that guy. He's definitely the best player in that series. So I think the Lakers will be able to pull off a great win in one of the best series in the playoffs if that does happen. But moving out to the East, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers playing the Indiana Pacers. I have the Cavaliers in 5, sorry. I don't think that the Pacers, they're a deep team, but the Cavaliers are even deeper. Cavaliers just have so many options they can go to. They've got like a 9-10 player lineup that's just all very solid players. And I trust the Cavaliers to get it done this season. I think they're determined, and I don't think that the Pacers are going to be able to really do much against the Cavs. Also, I think they're going to struggle to stop Evan Mobley. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be a close series. And I don't think that the next series is going to be close either. It's the Boston Celtics against the New York Knicks. And whilst, I think they were being a bit underrated in the first series, I feel like the Celtics are just on a whole nother level, to be honest. The Celtics, as a Cavs fan, they scare me. I have them winning in 5. I don't think that New York has what it takes to be able to stop the offense of the Celtics at all. And we know Boston has a great defense. But yeah, I don't think that, we'll see how they do have OG and Mikal, but I'm not sure they're going to be able to stop all the threes that the Celtics, they shoot. It just adds up. And so I have Boston pulling it out in a pretty short series. I had the Celtics in 5.
And now onto my East predictions, starting with the Cavaliers versus the Bucks. I personally think that the Cavs will win in 6. I do believe that Giannis, we know he's a playoff riser. We keep talking about playoff risers. Giannis, I would say he's a top 3 MVP candidate this year. He's been on fire, and no one's been talking about it. And I just think that he will cause problems for the Cavs defense. There's probably every game he's going to score 40, but ultimately I don't think it'll be enough. They simply just don't have the supporting cast. I still think they take 2 from the Cavs though, but ultimately the Cavs just way too strong. And then getting to the Celtics versus the Knicks as well, I also have them winning in 5. Kind of just the same reasons as you. The Celtics are just them. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Knicks, they definitely don't lack talent. It's just they're not as consistent. I don't even know if they've beaten a top team this year. I'm pretty sure against the Lakers, Rockets,
Lakers,
Thunder.
Cavs.
I don't know if it's the Lakers actually. Cavs,
Celtics,
Boston,
Thunder, Lakers.
Yeah, I think they're 0-12 or something, aren't they? They're 0-10, something crazy. It's definitely gonna be, they just don't rise against the, playoff teams. But now they're in the playoffs, and I just don't see them doing anything. I'm still interested to see how they go though with Cat. Maybe they do get better, but Celtics are them.
Well, I'm starting the East. I have the Cleveland Cavaliers winning in 7 against the Boston Celtics. I truly do believe this will be a really tough series for both teams, so I think it'll be a great series. The 2 teams tied the in-season series. I think that Mobley is going to have a big impact in this one. Jared Allen we've talked about playoff risers. I'm not sure that people would call him a playoff riser after what's happened in his few times in the postseason, but it's going to need to be a big series from him against Porzingis, and I think that the Cavaliers are going to be able to pull out the victory and bring down the reigning premiers, champions. They're not called premiers. But I think it'll be a great series. I'm really excited for that. I've been excited for that all season since both teams look well above the competition. My Eastern Conference Finals MVP is none other than Donovan Mitchell. I think he turns up every time when we need him to. He's just a scorer that can just get it done at will. It seems like he averages like 30 against the Celtics. One of the best players against the Celtics all time according to the stats. And I think he's gonna turn up in a series like that and put on a show. And then in the Western Conference, it is the Oklahoma City Thunder playing the Los Angeles Lakers for me, and I have OKC winning in 6. As great as I've been praising LeBron and Luka, but Shai's he's deserving of an MVP. He's definitely been at least a top 2 player this season, or top 3, I guess. And I think the Thunder just have such a great defense that they're going to make it really tough for Luka and LeBron. And they're too deep, in my opinion. The Lakers aren't very deep themselves, so I don't think they're going to be able to go through a whole series against that Thunder team that has just so many great players. And I see the Thunder winning in 6. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is my, pretty bland. I know the 2 superstars get it, but he's my Western Conference Finals MVP. I think just any night, it seems like every night he's one of the most consistent players in the league, and he'll get to his spots and get you 30 plus every night.
Now for my conference, I'm actually going to start with the West. I too, obviously, well, to the shock of, I don't think anyone, I have the OKC Thunder winning in 6 against the Rockets. I too have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander winning Western Conference Finals MVP. I mean, he's him as much as it. I hate to say that. Yeah, he's an MVP front runner for a reason, and he's gonna absolutely dominate. If it ain't all the ways he can score, it'll be the free throws, and Mr. Free Throw Merchant's gonna get it, in my opinion. But then the next series, I think, will be the series to playoffs. It is the Celtics taking on the Cavs. I think that the Cavs win in 7, and I personally believe that the Cavs will inherit the soul of LeBron and make a 3-1 comeback against the Celtics when all looks down, and they will do it again to advance to the finals. And honestly, my MVP, I think, is going to be Evan Mobley. He's been him for them. He's been him this year. I really wanted to go D-Mitch. I was thinking Darius. Yeah, I mean, they're all going to be great, but I feel like Evan Mobley's going to come up with some big plays, personally. He's that player, he has that it factor at times, and yeah, I mean, he's a great player, and I reckon that he's going to get it. I don't think anyone's going to play extremely well. I think it's going to be both kind of team performances. So
that's
same.
fair.
Yeah.
2 great all-around teams.
Yeah. And yeah, that leaves my finals being the same as your finals, I think.
Yep, Thunder and Cavs. I have, against the Thunder, the Cleveland Cavaliers winning in 7. It might be very biased, I don't care. Thunder are a great team. I think it's going to be a dogfight, and it's going to be a great series. I think this one as well.
Come on.
Thunder have a great defense, but I trust the Cavaliers. There's not much to say. Both teams are just really good. I think it go either way, obviously, but yeah, I think a big series from Evan Mobley against Chet and Isaiah Hardenstein would be big, and that's why he's going to be my finals MVP. I think this is where he cements his legacy after a DPOY year, and he also wins the finals MVP. I just really he turns up, it feels like, against last playoffs against the Celtics. Even he was turning up when Mitchell was out, so I am very excited to watch him in the playoffs. He's such a good player on both ends, and in my opinion, he's the best Cavalier, or been the best Cavalier this season.
Well, I'm in reality, and I have the Thunder in 6, actually. I think that the Cavs that Game 7, I think the 7-game series takes a lot out of them. You know, like making a 3-1 comeback, and they just can't compete with the Thunder, simply. Yeah, I think that the Thunder are the slightly better team. They're the deepest team in the NBA right now. Doesn't mean that they're gonna definitely win it, but
They don't got two
they're the deepest.
6 Man of the Year candidates like we do.
They got the MVP, so
That's fair. They don't have the DPOY or the
they got
Coach of the Year.
MVP. But I mean, yeah, I just think, you know, in my personal playoff scenario, and what I think is going to happen now, after a lot of time of thinking, I think that the Cavs will just simply have had too much. If, like, for the Cavs to even get there is kind of crazy after playing the Celtics. I honestly don't, like, I don't think any of the teams, like either the Celtics or the Cavs, like, if they make it, it's going to be like the biggest uphill battle, because the level of talent that those two have to go through versus what the Thunder, I feel, have to go through is so much higher. Like, I feel like, you know, the Thunder, maybe their biggest threat is like the Lakers, and the Lakers don't even have that amazing of a starting center. I mean, it's just, they have Luka though, but I don't know. But yeah, give me Thunder in 6.
Who's your finals MVP?
I'm gonna go with Shea.
Okay.
Yeah,
Should we quickly give our awards
I'm
at
down.
who we'd give?
I'm down.
Bonus content. Okay.
Very nice.
Let me bring up all the awards. We're not in Clutch Player of the Year either. That sucks.
I
Darius
don't know
Garland.
anything about that. I don't know who would
Jokic.
be in there.
Jokic is like one of the front runners, I think. So you could just say.
Jokic.
Okay, let's start with who's your MVP.
Jokic. He's averaging a 30-point triple-double, and you're telling me the man isn't. And he got his team to the 4th seed, and they suck. They're a bunch of scrubs. Come on now. Put Shea on that team, and they're the 9th seed at best.
That's okay. Well, honestly, if I had a vote, you know, I'd probably vote Jokic, but I have a lot of respect for what Shea's done this season. I think they're both very deserving. I wish there was 2 MVPs to be given out this year.
Let him share it.
For real. But yeah, Jokic is just. I mean, I'm just kind of saying this because he's easily the best player in the league, and that the Nuggets team sucks around him, and he's made him like a playoff team. DPOY, I personally have Evan Mobley. I think, as I said earlier, I think he's been our best player this season, the Cavs, and he's a big reason why we're so good. Just what he's able to bring defensively. He's, you know, one of the most. He can do everything on the defensive end. He can even, you know, sit down the perimeter and guard a guard, and do a great job at it. He's one of the best interior defenders in the league as well. Does help that Jared Allen's there, but his numbers are just great. So, give me Evan Mobley.
Call me biased, you know. It's gonna be a bit wild.
I don't have no Aaron Gordon.
Give me the Great Barrier Thief. Most steals in the league. You know, I want a guard to win it. I don't want no big to win it all the time. And what a better way than Dyson Daniels, you know? He has the most steals in the league. I think the most steals since, like, I don't know, the 60s. He's him, and he's only going to get better.
Yep. I think that's a perfect time to transition to most improved player, which is, for me, it's a guy who I actually knew growing up, went to school with him. Been rooting for him for a while. It's Dyson Daniels. I did actually go to school with him, but yeah, I'm rooting for him, and he's just. I mean, you haven't made your damn DPOY is how big of a jump he's taken, and offensively as well. He's contributing a lot more. He's been great this season, and I think he is deserving. You know, Christian Braun solid. Zubac is good as well for this award, but give me Dyson, my guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the guy who I also went to school with. I actually 1v1'd him, actually no, I didn't 1v1 him. I was in a game of basketball, and I actually hit a 3 in his face. In grade
Yeah,
7,
right.
So
I don't
yeah,
remember
and
that.
ever since then he, no, because you weren't there that day. And ever since then he's said, "I'm never letting another bum like you beat me," and he hasn't. He's been. Give me Dyson Daniels too.
Coach of the year is obviously Kenny Atkinson. He's transformed the Cleveland Cavaliers from a good team to like a clear top 3 team. But they're clearly contenders. Anyone who says otherwise is stupid. We've been great all season. He's empowered Evan Mobley, which has led to an amazing year. He's empowered Darius Garland, which has led to an all-star year for him. All NBA for Mobley. He's been such a great coach, and he is my coach of the year.
Fair. I got JB Bickerstaff.
Yes, sir, my guy.
He got ousted out of Cleveland. It was not good. He came back and took one of the worst teams in the league and made them one of the best. How can he not give it to a guy like that, you know? In my opinion, what he's done is way more impressive than what
They're the
either
Sixers.
of the
Let's
top
go.
guys. Still, they were one of the worst teams in the league. The fact that they're in the playoffs is nothing.
We're better than the Celtics. I mean,
Yeah,
nah,
okay.
I agree that he's had a big impact. I wouldn't say way greater than Kenny Atkinson. We went from
Okay.
JB to Kenny Atkinson. We got way better. Garland suddenly became good again. Mobley became an All-NBA second teamer. Mitchell All-NBA first.
And Kate Cunningham's gonna win Most Improved Player. So get good.
Ty Jerome is one of the best 6 men in the league. He was a nobody. I didn't even know who he was. I did, but not really. I just saw him on the injury report every freaking game last season.
Oh
Rookie
my God.
of the year.
Yeah.
This is one
Who do
that
you got?
I have Zachary Reese Shea. You know, he's not the favorite. Castle's been great, but I just I just really like the type of player that Reese Shea is. His shooting has just picked up over the season. He's projects to be an amazing 3-and-D wing, just like the type of player that every team in the league is fiending for. And I think he's gonna have a great career, and I think he's taking great steps this rookie year. So he's my rookie of the year.
Yeah, give me the front runner, Stephon Castle. I think that he's a very solid player, and he's going to be pretty good for the Spurs in a couple years' time. I mean, yeah, they got a pretty solid one, I think.
What position does Stephon Castle play?
Shooting guard.
Alright, good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because they put what's his name to play.
CP3. Oh, De'Aaron Fox. I mean, it was CP3 at the start of the year.
Thank you guys so much for watching yet another episode of the LA Fakers. We hope you enjoyed. You know, a bit different today with some NBA content. The first video of NBA on our channel. You know, how did you think it went, Jam?
I liked it. I love the NBA, so you know, wouldn't mind. Let us know if you want to see us do any off season or next season doing any more videos in this. You know, like I don't know, season reviews, etc. Off season reviews. But, yeah.
Yes, sir. Hey, you know, I heard there's an NFL one coming up soon, so. Well, you know, there's nothing. Oh yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. You know, the support's been there, and we're pretty happy with it. And you know, I've personally got nothing else to say. So, without further ado, goodbye.
Yep, they have two of the best playoff rises in the league, so that's fair.
I mean, not really, but anyways.
Not really.
Jamal Murray better, but you know, it's that.
I said some of that.
Said two of the best.
I didn't say they were the
Actually,
best. So.
You said the best.
Two of the best, like as in they're the upper echelon. Jamal Murray isn't effing with Damian Lillard or Giannis either. By the way, I'm sorry.
Hey, you know, how many rings does Dame have, little bro? Anyways. What the hell? Hold on. This guy just said you stink car, do something Becky. I don't know. What?
He's speaking.
Why? Okay. Oh.
Damn, they forfeiting a freaking Ages game, bro. Just let us poop. May as well be playing like actual bots, yeah. Go on a freaking.
That's what I'm saying.
Damn, I put up 1k. I'm here. Kinda want an upset. Oh. Nah, okay.
Where are you good?
Should I even do the west? I can do it quickly, I guess. Out west. Oh.
Well, there you go.
We're gonna come back and we're gonna be like, oh my gosh, the Cavs actually made a 3-1 comeback. You're elite, and then the Cavs are gonna win in 7, and people are gonna be like, oh, you sold it.
Jalen Durant. I don't know. Isn't one of the guys Durant, Jalen Durant or something? I just remember catching back.
Jalen Williams.
What was it?
Jalen Duran is on the Pistons.
Oh, I thought that they had it. I don't know. I saw
They have
Kendrick
two
Perkins
Jalen
say that he
Williams.
was. I saw Kendrick Perkins say he was a DPOY, and for some reason I thought he was on the
What?
on the OKC.
Jalen Duran,
Yeah.
DPOY.
Yeah, he did. He put him as his DPOY, and I thought he was on the OKC Thunder. But that was Jalen.
Are you talking? Do you mean Lou Dort? I'm pretty sure you put Lou Dort as his DPOY.
Maybe.
I think you
I'm
might
selling.
be. You might be mixing it up. But honestly, I wouldn't put it past Kendrick Perkins to do that either. So.
He's
But
so dumb.
Duran's not a great defender.
Lou Dort. Maybe Jalen. He is. Trust me.
He can rebound, but that's about. I mean, he's been better. I
Let
guess.
Lou Dort cook. It definitely was Lou Dort. Oh man.
Yeah. Alright. Jalen Duran, Finals MVP.
That's what I'm saying. No, honestly, I was thinking for the Eastern one. I was looking at putting like Sam Merrill. I don't even
Sam
know if he's on
Merrill,
your
oh
team.
my god, he is. He's not gonna average 10 points. He's probably not gonna average 10 minutes. He's been kind of
I
mid.
just thought it would be funny to say, but I didn't say it. I said it would be so funny if he just got.
He's not gonna
He's in
unless
conference spot.
unless he's freaking shooting like Steph Curry. He's not even gonna get enough minutes.
Sam Merrill, let him cook.